You know, Robert, that introduction is longer than my talk. I'm going to bless you by not speaking very long tonight. You've heard all of the great reasons to take action on the stewardship of our environment. You've heard why it makes sense economically, both nationally and personally. You've heard about how solvable these problems are. You've heard about national security and how advisable this is, just as being good citizens of our country, to want to be as independent as we can be so that we can be as generous as we can be to other countries of the world. Let me just bring in this concluding reason. I seem like a strange person to be talking about global warming. I'm a preacher, and preachers preach. And I'm not going to do that tonight, but I do want to bring up the fact that the stewardship of God's creation is a moral obligation. I'm not nearly so concerned with political victory as I am all of us taking our responsibility to prize what we've been given by God. Even if you're not a believer, this great world that we belong to deserves some caretaking and some respect. But if you are a believer, it's even more of a reason to do what we can to conserve, to recycle, to extend the blessings that we've been given in this creation to the generations to come. I want to just point out two things in Scripture. First of all, we have a direct moral command from God to care for this earth. In Genesis 2:15, He took the man, Adam, it means every man, and gave him an order. Cultivate it and keep it, He said. The word keep in Hebrew means to protect. The word cultivate means, listen to this, to serve, not to exploit, but to make it so that it would be generationally sustainable. And that's a direct order. And not only did He do that to give us those orders so that human beings could have what they need, God had a concern for every living creature, for every living thing. In Genesis chapter 9, it says this, when he establishes His covenant. Remember the ark, and He puts the bow in the sky and establishes His covenant never to flood the earth again. He establishes His covenant not just with people. Listen to this. He says, I myself do establish my covenant with you and with your descendants after you and with every living creature that is with you, the birds and the cattle and every beast of the earth. So God cares about all living creatures. And the destruction of the biodiversity on our planet is an insult. It's not only a great loss to our children, it's an absolute insult. And so we are compelled, morally, ethically, to take better care of this planet. We have all the means, we have all the reasons, and let me give you just one more. God has a heart for the poor and for the vulnerable. He always has. And those that are destroyed the quickest, those with the least insulation from the ravages of climate change or the destruction of the natural resources that we have, will be the poor. Many of us in this country can insulate ourselves for a while if the environment continues to get worse and the climate change causes more disruption. But they won't be able to, and we will be held accountable for not loving our neighbor as we loved ourselves. And so I believe that with all of us working together for various reasons, and all of us having many of the same reasons for working together, we can make a tremendous difference, and we better.